I'm diving into this UI mistake that completely messed things up, and I'm challenging myself to fix it live on camera. User interface design is often overlooked, but it's an essential part of our daily digital lives. From the moment we wake up until we go to bed, we're interacting with some kind of user interface. Whether it's our smartphones, laptops, or even refrigerators, UI design plays a critical role in shaping our experiences. A well-designed UI can make all the difference, streamlining tasks and making life easier. On the other hand, a poorly designed UI can lead to frustration, confusion, and even abandonment. When it comes to UI design, every detail matters. A single mistake can have far-reaching consequences, affecting the entire user experience. Unfortunately, even the most experienced designers and developers can make mistakes. And that's exactly what happened in the case I'm about to share with you. The mistake I'm talking about is so subtle, yet it had a significant impact on the overall user experience. It's a mistake that could have been avoided, and one that I'm sure many of you have encountered before. A user interface should be intuitive, easy to use, and aesthetically pleasing. But what happens when a UI designer gets it wrong? In this case, the mistake was so egregious that it ruined the entire experience. The UI mistake I'm referring to is the incorrect placement of a call to action button. It sounds simple, but trust me, it had devastating consequences. The button was placed in a location that made it difficult for users to find, leading to a significant drop in conversions. It's a mistake that could have been avoided with proper testing and user feedback. The worst part is that this mistake was overlooked during the design and testing phases. It wasn't until the product was launched that the issue became apparent. By then, it was too late. The damage was done, and users were already frustrated. The immediate consequences of this mistake were severe. Users were confused, and many abandoned the platform altogether. The product's reputation suffered, and the developers were left scrambling to fix the issue. But how did this mistake occur in the first place? Was it a lack of testing, a failure in communication, or simply a designer's oversight? To understand what went wrong, we need to delve deeper into the background of this mistake. The project kicked off with high hopes and ambitions. The design team was experienced, and the developers were skilled. However, as the project progressed, things started to unravel. The design team was working on a tight deadline, and the developers were under pressure to meet the launch date. One of the main issues was the lack of user testing. The design team relied heavily on their own intuition, assuming that users would understand the interface. They didn't consult with real users, and they didn't test the prototype extensively. This lack of testing led to a false sense of security, and the mistake went unnoticed. Another issue was the communication breakdown between the design team and the developers. The designers assumed that the developers would catch any mistakes during the implementation phase. However, the developers were working on a tight deadline and didn't have the luxury of reviewing the design thoroughly. As a result, the mistake slipped through the cracks, and the product was launched with a critical flaw. The consequences were severe, and the team was left to pick up the pieces. But this mistake isn't an isolated incident. I've come across many similar cases where a single UI mistake has ruined the entire experience. There was the time when a popular e-commerce website placed the checkout button below the fold, resulting in a significant drop in conversions. Or the instance where a mobile app used a low-contrast color scheme, making it impossible for users to read the content. These mistakes are a reminder that UI design is a delicate process that requires attention to detail, user testing, and collaboration. A single mistake can have far-reaching consequences, affecting the entire user experience. So, what can we learn from this mistake? Firstly, it's essential to prioritize user testing and feedback. Designers and developers must work together to identify potential issues before the product is launched. Secondly, communication is key. Designers and developers must communicate effectively to avoid misunderstandings and oversights. The pivotal moment when the mistake was realized was a turning point for the team. It forced them to reevaluate their design process and prioritize user testing. The team gained valuable insights from this experience, and they're now more vigilant when it comes to UI design. In conclusion, this UI mistake serves as a reminder of the importance of attention to detail and user-centered design. It's a lesson that we can all learn from, and one that I hope will prevent similar mistakes from happening in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear about your own experiences with UI mistakes. Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to check out my next video for more insights into the world of UI design. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content.